net daar opklik. As jy die naam wil sien, how to find a book, how to find a journal, ek weet nie waar wil jy begin nie.
Ek wil begin, ek dink is daar hierdie ene. Nee, nie vir bibliografies nie. Nee, ek soek die nee, hy wil nie, ek sien nou, kan dalk die ene wees, dit sê net eerstejaars Februarie.
How to plan, how to find a journal, how to find a book.
Dis 'n general guidelines, seker hy.
Daar's general en daar's net 'n eerstejaars ene.
En wat is die verskil tussen die twee?
So daar's 'n how to search on, dis ons kan ons nog maak daarna.
Is dit nie dalk vir bibliografies nie?
Ja.
Ja, dan is dit die een waarmee ek wil begin.
Die ene.
Nee, die een bokant. As ek die
Goed.
ander so van 'n kant af vat, weet jy
Ja.
wat wil ek doen met die ander Christo? Ek weet nie of mense, ek wil in plaas van om, in 'n geval wil ek nie 'n lang video onmiddellikheid nie.
Nee, dis wel. Langer as 7 minute is te lank.
Ek het op my lip right, al hierdie name so onder mekaar op die oomblik. Ek het hulle gesyf as PDF's en ek het dit daar langsaan gaan sit. En nou, ek gewonder of dit moontlik is as of mens wat sê uitgang van 'n videoetjie?
Wil jy die uitgang?
Die PowerPoint, Word, die .doc,
O ja, maar mens kry maar, daar's honderde verskillendes vir video's.
Okay.
Ja,
Wat sê mens op YouTube?
Mens kan MP4 formaat, mens kan
Kan mens 'n MP4 ding ook met soos jy 'n PowerPoint net met 'n knoppietjie langs daai ding gaan sit?
ja, so dit kan doen.
Okay.
Mens kan moontlik kyk na so iets.
Maar ek weet in die verlede, as ek die opleiding wil opsit, het ons webmeester vir my dit op YouTube gaan sit, dat ek 'n YouTube link kon kry.
Ja, maar dit sal dalk die beste wees.
Sal dit
Kan
maar
ek dit sommer
die
vir ons
beste
op ons fakulteit se channel gaan sit. Ons het 'n YouTube channel vir die fakulteit.
Okay.
En dan kan ek vir jou van daar af die
Want dit sal
skakel.
wonderlik wees.
Ja.
Dit sal wonderlik wees.
Ons gaan definitief na toe kyk. Okay. So daar's library services is die een wat oopgemaak het. Dit nou nie die ander oopgemaak het.
Die ander kan ek dan maar net een vir een oop.
Dis reg, ja. Sy sê nou net 'n update gehad, dit was kom nou so lank gevat het. So daar is bibliografies en daar is die library services. Okay. So ek sal maar voorstel jy weet die ken die shortcut langs die minus hier om hom vol
Ja,
skerp
ek
te
ken
maak.
ja. Wat om 'n slideshow sit.
Ja, en dan kan jy nou maar net die pyltjies gebruik om aan te beweeg.
Okay. Dis altyd my probleem, hoe vang ek hulle? Jy weet, dat jy nou aanhou kyk.
O, ek verstaan.
Ja.
Maar dan sê Esther, ek gaan net gou hier met 'n paar goed af. Ek gaan weer so gou as moontlik terugkom. So as jy vashou, ek gaan nie te lank wees nie, dan kom ek.
Dis reg.
Maar jy kan solank hierdie hele eerste gedeelte.
So ek kan maar net, hy neem klaar op.
Neem klaar.
So ek kan maar
Jy
net,
kan rustig voortgaan en ek sny al wat ons gaan gebruik.
dankie wel.
Goed.
En dit maak nie saak watter boek is hierdie dingetjie nie.
Nee, dis maar naby jou mond, dit is dit.
As hy reg so.
Ja. Ek kan rustig dan ek gaan die deur net toe trek. Sodat hy nou nie lei nie.
Waar het ek my water gesit? Dankie. Net vir 'n geval ek 'n sluk moet vat. Dankie Christo, hoor. Dankie. Goed. You received an assignment, and what do now? You are overwhelmed, but the first place to go is the library, because the library gives you everything you need for all your assignments and all your requirements, or everything you need to come to finish your. Ekskuus Christo, ek gaan van voor af begin hierso, hoor? You received an assignment. You really don't know what to do. How do you find information? How do you get a result that is satisfying for you as well as your lecturer. Go to the library, because in the library you can find everything you need, all the information, as well as all the assistance you need. The library offers you information from databases, where information is grouped together, and you can get access to it very easily once you know how it works. We have international databases as well as South African databases. There is books that you can borrow from the library, but for the distance students as well as the local students, there are many electronic books that you can use for your assignments. The journal articles is also available in electronic as well as printed format. You may borrow 6 books for 2 weeks, and you may renew it twice, provided that no one has requested it someone else, or that it is not long overdue. And you can renew it from your library record. The library offers you so much more than Google. At Google you can find lots of information, but on the library's databases you can get quality information that is organized, and it is scientific information, not what everybody think is good to write and that which should never have been written, or not marketing information. You only find scientific information at the library. Sometimes you find good information on Google, and when you come there tomorrow it is gone, but the information on the library's databases is permanent. And it's free for you, because many good articles on the internet must be paid for. We pay for the databases, and you can get it free. So you get valuable and reliable information from the library that is suitable for research. And remember that Wikipedia is not a source for scientific information. Use it to clarify certain terms for yourself, but you cannot use it as a scientific source. Look at the references there. Sometimes it takes you to other sources that are scientific information that you can use. But before you use information from the internet, you must evaluate it to make sure it is scholarly information. Is there an author that is willing to say, I have written this? Look for the purpose, which purpose it was written. Maybe you start reading at it and you see it is marketing something for you, seeking a willing buyer. Is it presented in scholarly language, in academic style, paragraphs, headings? How is it presented? Are there links to other websites, such as a university or a scholarly journal? And make sure that you use only scientific information. You see there at the bottom, there is a block where I say, click here for guidelines to evaluate information. All these blocks in this presentation is active. When you click there, it will take you to the manual where you can find information on the indicated topic. There are different types of information available in the library: books, journals, theses. Show your lecturer that you consult more than one type of source in doing your assignment. The books in the library are in several categories. The books on the open shelves may be borrowed, where the reference use with an R before the number may only be used in the library. Reserved books is books recommended to you by your lecturer, and we keep it at the counter, as well as the study collections, which are the books that we identified as being used by many students. So we want to prevent, we as well as the lecturers want to prevent that one person borrow the book and the others can't get it. And you just have to ask the staff at the counter, then you can use the book there and return it. Electronic books are available everywhere. From your home, it doesn't matter where you are, you will just be prompted for a username and password, which will be your surname and your student number. And always look out for that R in front of the number. When you enter the collection in the library, you will first find the reference books with the R in front of the number, and after that, the books on the open shelves that can be borrowed. The number with which the books are shelved is a subject number. So when you're looking for books on a certain subject, you don't have to go overall through the library's collection. You need to go to one place, and there you will find the books. Also, when you go to find a specific book, remember that this means that books on the same subject will be standing next to it. So it would be good to take a look at the book standing next to the specific book you are looking for. Never go to the shelves without a number. Look in the catalogue and find the school number for the book, then you will find what you are looking for. If you can't find the book on the shelf, always ask the staff, because it may be on the sorting shelves, and then we can assist you with that. And there you have an illustration of how the books are arranged, of how the decimal number works, and the alphabetical number. Always ask us if you can't find something. On the ground level there, in the library, you will find the reference books, books from 0 to 230, and the first section of journals. And on the first floor, you will find books from 230, as well as the rest of the journals. In books, you will find very complete, comprehensive information about a certain subject. Where in journals, you will find short and specific information, much more recent than books usually. When you consult a book and you are looking for information on a certain subject, use the table of contents, which will take you to a certain section. Look at the introduction and the index. At the end, the index is usually at the end of the book, and this will also help you to go directly to the page you need. The bibliography can lead you to other sources on the same subject. Now remember, for your assignments, you must use the Harvard style for bibliographies. You will find this in the NW Referencing Guide. You will see there is also guidelines that I compiled for that you can consult for compiling your bibliographies. Make sure that you don't plagiarize. That is against the law, and I'm sure you have also received more than one warning against it. The Copyright Act stipulates that only 10% or one chapter of a book may be copied or scanned. Please stick to this act and don't violate it. You must keep record of your sources you consulted, because for each assignment you do, you must say where did you find that information, and then you have the information ready to do your bibliography. And I've already told you that you can use bibliographies to identify other sources. When you do a search, I will show you later on, use more than one search and more than one database. If, for example, you are looking for information on children, search for children as well as youth. Look out for help options and tips and links that usually helps you to find more information. Links usually say something like other works by the same author or other authors on this subject. And do an advanced search. In that way you can search much more specific. There you see is also an information manual on how to plan your information search. When you are working off campus and you want to access the databases or electronic books, you will be asked for a username and password, because you must be verified as a valid user of those information. Your username is your surname and your password is the student number or your identity number. That is because we have a very strict license agreement with the suppliers of the databases that only students and staff of the NWU may have access to our sources. and please contact me if you have problems with getting database access. This is the screen where you will be prompted with, where you can type in your details. When you are looking for a book, search on the catalog for the title. If you can't find it there, please ask us. Maybe we can help you. There you see the manual for how to find a book. How do you search for a journal article? Search on the A to Z list to see whether we have a subscription to the electronic journal. And then you can find it there. If you can't find it there, you search on the catalog for the printed journal, and you can make copies of it in the library or scan it. Again, there is the manual for how to find a journal article. The LibGuide for Theology is a user-friendly, subject-specific tool where you can find all the library services and resources for theology on one place. So you don't have to go to the library's webpage to find the catalog on one place and the databases on another place. Just go to the LibGuide for Theology, where you can find everything on one place. There you have the link, and bookmark it. My students tell me it helps them a lot to bookmark it. One way to get there is to go to the university's webpage. There you see is library. On the library's webpage, you click on LibGuides. There you see it at the red arrow. Under Potchefstroom, you go to either ancient languages on top, or you scroll down to find theology, and there you get the LibGuide. Or you can just type in the link, and you can bookmark it for you. When you Google it, you can just Google NWU LibGuide Theology, and you will find it. Bookmark it, and you will see that it will be your friend throughout your studies. Consult it and use it. And give me tips on how to make it better for you, because I'm continuously working on the LibGuide. Now let's look what can you find at the LibGuide. The LibGuide has several tabs. With every tab you find different information below it. Now we are at the Home tab, and we are going to look what information you can find at this tab. There you see is Ifundi, which you know by this time all the information and communication from your lecturer is there. There you can find the exam papers. There is the NW Referencing Guide, Afrikaans and English, and you see it is also available in Portuguese and French. We also have Portuguese French students, and we assist them with this. Make sure you use the NW Harvard style, because in this book there are also the style for the law students and the APA style. But you must use the first section of the book, the NWU Harvard style. There is a guide for writing assignments, and there at library account you can renew your books, as well as you can get there your reading history. It keeps record of everything you have borrowed from the library. So if next year you wonder what was that good book I used in my first year, you can go through the list and find it there. There is the Information Retrieval Guide for Theology. It explains the LibGuide, also gives links to the databases and manuals that you can use, and there's abbreviations of the biblical books. Now we are at the Books tab, the second one. There is the catalog, where you can search for books. You can see there is a manual for how to find a book. It's good to do an advanced search. You see it there below the search block. And then you will get more results. The electronic books are currently included in the catalog to assist students and users while they are doing renovations at the main library. And that is a very easy one-stop now. The ebook center looks like this. Do an advanced search and you get only ebooks as a result. Now we are at the Articles tab. To find a specific article, you need to follow those steps. First of all, you go to A to Z and you see whether it is available electronically. If you can't find it there, you search in the catalog to determine whether we can find it. We have it in printed format, in which case you can either just use it or make a copy or scan it in. We have a scanner available in the library. Again, you see there a manual on how to find a specific article. EBSCOhost is a very powerful database and very, very good to use. You see there is also a manual on how to search there. It is a host for lots of databases, and just below there you can see the databases to be selected, and you click on EBSCOhost and you select those databases, and with one search you search on all of those databases. There is the databases to select, and you see what you select depends on the subject you are using. If you are searching for counseling, you also must select those 4 databases I indicated there. For languages, you must include MLA. Now we are at Google Scholar, which is very nice, only scholarly information and nothing to warn you about as I have to do for user Google. But it is very important that you go through the LibGuide to Google Scholar, because when you go directly to www.Google Scholar, you will find less articles in full text. You see there, I have also a manual for how to search on Google Scholar. It has a wonderful opportunity for doing an advanced search. Then you have SAE publications, can you find there? There's also a manual of how to search there, South African journal articles. The next tab is eReference Works, with lots of Bible commentaries in the first tab, first column there. In the second column, there's lexicons and dictionaries for Hebrew, Greek, Latin and French. You see there Vine's Dictionary, Strong's, Greek and English Lexicon, Lewis and Shore for Latin. There's many sources you can consult. Under dictionaries and encyclopedias, there is the Cambridge Dictionary of Christian Theology, a very nice one to consult for explanations and definitions. Oxford Reference Online gives scientific definitions. It's a combination of all Oxford subject dictionaries. And if you find a term there, you have very nice definitions to use. When you scroll down there, you'll find more encyclopedias and dictionaries, and there you see is also the Forest Dictionaries Afrikaans English and English Afrikaans. Now we are at the Websites and Resources tab. First of all, on the left, we have websites with free information, lots of websites. I have different translations of the Bible there. For every language there, we have a student. On the right, there is free full-text resources, many of them. Go and have a look there. There are many sources you can consult. There in the middle, you can have the guidelines you can use to make sure that information from the internet is scientific information. The next tab is the How To tab. There you see manuals on everything you need to know, anything. On the left, I've put all these manuals for you that I've developed, the one we are doing now, and also all the ones I'm referring to in this document. There you see at bibliographies, there's general guidelines for bibliographies. There is how to find almost anything, how to find books, how to find articles, how to search on Oxford Reference Online, how to search on databases. Take a look around all these manuals. You'll find it apart from finding it very interesting, it will open the library world for you, the world of information. For those of you studying ancient languages, I have a tab for it. There is grammar sources, reference works. There you see the important ones. Thesaurus Linguae. For Greek and Latin, Lewis and Short, Liddell and Scott, Lowe and Nida, Strong's, many information that you can consult there. So you will see there is also a Greek fonts and a biblical Hebrew for the keyboard. There are many things that you can use there. And then there is also a tab for our Portuguese users. Remember, the library is your friend. We will help you always as far as we can. Don't think you can't find something. Ask us, and our friendly staff will assist you. SAE Publications is a product of Sabinet, and you can find their South African articles. You can find it at the article tab of the LibGuide. You see there on the right, and you click on SAE Publications. There is the search screen. Type in your search terms. Make sure that you type in the Boolean operators with capital letters, because when you use small letters, it gives no results. On the right, you click on the drop-down menu and you select article title. You can change that as you like to. You can also sit in the abstract, or you can search in all text. You type in your search terms, you select article title, and you click on search. There's your results. You can click in the box and email all the results to you. Or then you can email it to yourself. There's a link. All the links as well as the PDF goes to your email. Or if you have the result list in front of you, you can click on more, in which case you will get an abstract telling you more about the article and to help you in your decision whether you can use it or not. And there is the option to download the article. Bibliographies are difficult for most students when they start with it. That is why I want to give you some guidelines to make it easier. Why do you need to reference a source? It gives recognition to the original author, and you don't plagiarize. Avoid plagiarism. It provides proof of the source of the information. It proves the comprehensiveness of the research. It lends authority to your views, and it proves that where you get your views, the origin of the views. And your lecturer can make sure that you that you give a correct interpretation to the source you consulted. And it also serves as an additional source of information. The referencing guide, if you remember, is on the LibGuide for Theology in the middle column of the Home tab. You will see it there, and there you have the links I provided here as links to you. You can click there to get it electronically. Or you can get a printed copy in the library at 70 Rand. You can buy it with cash or on your student account. It's available in Afrikaans and English in the library, electronically as well as in French and Portuguese. It looks like this, and it consists of 3 parts. The NWU Harvard style with the maroon tabs, the law with the green tabs, APA with the blue tabs. Make sure that for theology you use the NWU Harvard style and not any Harvard from the internet. There's a difference from all the Harvard styles found on the internet. There are indeed many lots of Harvard styles. You must use the NWU Harvard style. There's a distinction between a reference list and a bibliography. The reference list includes only sources cited that you have consulted in the text of your document. But the bibliography can include other sources that you have consulted, but you don't refer to it in the text of your assignment. The general principle of a bibliography is, for all citations in your text, there must be a corresponding entry in the reference list. The reference in the text consists of 3 parts: the author, the date, and the page number. There you see the format: the author, comma, 1 space, the year, colon, no space, and the page number. If you use information from the internet and there is no page number, it may be omitted. And if a location or a paragraph number is indicated on the Kindle, you can refer to it. And the general principle is that text references can be used as part of the sentence, at the end of the sentence, or at the end of a paragraph. There you have a few examples of them, of the ways in which it can be used. The formatting requirements for your bibliography is that it must start on a new page. Do not use bullets and do not number entries. Use 1.5 spacing, leave open a line between entries, or use 18-point paragraph spacing after each entry. Reference list must be left aligned. Do not block it at the right or justify it at the right. Keep record of all the bibliographic details of the sources you consulted. Compile one alphabetical list according to the first authors. Give complete bibliographical information. The first part of the reference say, what is it? The second part of the reference say, where can I find it? Where can I find it is for a book, the place of publication and the publisher. For an internet source, it is the link that you must provide. Spacing, capitalization, and punctuation are important. Look in the guide for the guidelines and be on the lookout for the parts of the entry that must be in italics. The spacing is also important. There must be 2 spaces after each element of the entry. Look in paragraph 3.1 of the referencing guide, and there you see the examples that I've provided there. 2 spaces between the author, the date, the title, and the publication statement. Capitalization is very important. When to use and when not to use capital letters. It must be done according to the language rules of the specific language. And the language referred to is the language of the source. When you are referring to a source in English, all the letters must be according to the English language's guidelines for capitalization. When you have consulted a German source, it will be otherwise because the capitalization for German is different. The entries must be in alphabetical order, and we have the principle nothing becomes before something. So Leroux, L-E space, comes before leaky, L-E-A. And there you see my instructions for works by the same author. It must be chronological from old to new. When the two publications was published in the same year, you have to distinguish with A and B added to the year. There you see it is alphabetically according to the first letter of the title. First letter of the title. And after publications is chronologically, then it is sources with one author and then sources with co-authors. Where do I start when I have the book in my hand? Determine the type of source that you are working with. Is it a book or a journal? Look in the table of contents and consult the relevant page in the book where you will find all the instructions. Guidelines for books and articles also apply to other types of sources, that you must use an author, a date and a title, and then a link at the end for internet sources. Then you see the example for books, the author, the date, the title, the edition, the place of publication, and the publisher. You will see in the referencing guide that there is abbreviations for the states of the United States of America, with use consequently either the first abbreviation or the second abbreviation. Let's look at an example of a title page. There you see the title, biblical words and their meaning, the subtitle, the author. Revised and expanded edition is the edition statement. There you see the publisher as well as the place of publication. At the back of the page you can find the date of the publication, indicated with the copyright there. Remember that a subsequent printing of a book is not a second edition, it's only a printing. You use the first edition date of the book. Then the bibliographic entry compiled from this example looks like this. You will see where we get the information. Then a chapter in a collected work is a bit more difficult because each chapter was written by a separate author, and for each author you must have a separate entry in the bibliography. Please look there. You see it's the author of the chapter, then the date, the title of the chapter. Then between brackets we have the details of the book within an enter in italics. Let's look at an example. There you see the title page, Wiley Blackwell Companion to Practical Theology. It is the title of the book. The editor is Miller McLemore. The publisher at the bottom is Wiley Blackwell. At the back page you get the date of publication as well as the place of publication. In the table of contents, we take for example that we consulted chapter number 7, Blessing by Christian Sharon. You see, Christian Sharon is the author that you use, Blessing is the title that we use. The first title of the chapter is page 80 and it continues up to page 88, and that is why our example looks like this. For journal articles, that is an example how it should look like. Is rather straightforward. Author, date, title, the title of the journal in italics, the volume and the number and the page number of the article. First and the last page, not the page they consulted, the first and the last page of that article. There is an example of a reference list in the referencing guide. Consult it and make sure how the things should be done. And please ask us. If you don't know what to do, we are there to help you. You are looking for a specific book to use for your assignment. What do you do now? Let's look. You go to the book tab of the LibGuide, and there you get the catalog. You type in the title or the author, and you search for what you are looking for. In this case, we are looking for books on a certain subject. The Church and the Child, I just typed in Church and Child, and I leave the drop-down menu to keywords. There you see the result list of the books. First of all, you check the availability of the book at status. When there is a date, it means that someone else has borrowed it, and it's not available. So then you look for another book that can be available. When it's available, you check at the location. In which library can you find it? There you see the first one is indicated as the Education Library, whereas the previous one, if you look at number 2, is available in the Theology Library. And when it's available in our library, you could look at the shelf number, the call number, and you find it on the shelf. And if you can't find it there, always ask us, because it can be in other places, as in on the sorting shelf, and we can find it for you. And remember that the call number is a subject number, so you'll find similar books next to this book on the shelf. It's always good to do an advanced search to get more specific results. Then you can type in to search the words in the title of the books. Now, how to find a specific book? I select title there in the drop-down menu, and I type in the title of the book, and I click on search. There is my record. We check the availability, the location, and the call number, and there you see on the right, is it available? The first copy is available. Then the other copies was borrowed by other patrons, and there you see one of the copies is available only for library use. On the left you can see it's in the study collection, and that's why. You asked it at the counter, and our staff will give it to you. The books in the library are in separate collections. The books on the open shelves can be borrowed. There you see it's a number without an R before it, where the reference works have an R in front of it to indicate the separate collection. That they may only be used in the library, and the reason is that it is books that all the students can consult anytime, and we don't want one user to have the book with it and it's not available to other users. Reserved books and books in the study collection may also only be used in the library. Reserved books are books recommended by the lecturers. They want it available to all the students to prevent one student from borrowing it and the others can't use it. The study collection is books that we as library staff identified as books popular books that are used by many students, and everyone's looking for it and no one can find it, and we decide to keep it in the study collection so that everyone can get access to it. Electronic books are available everywhere. You don't even have to come to the library. You can get access to it from your home. You just need to type in your username and password, your username being your surname and your password being your student number to get access to it. Books are shelved with the subject numbers so that books on a certain subject stand together. Look at the call number. I give there examples of how it's arranged, the decimal number, the decimal system, and the alphabetical system, and then you can find the books on the shelves. If you can't find it, please come to us. On the ground level, you can find the reference books and books from 0 up to 30, and journals up to R. On the second floor, you will find books from 231 till the end and the rest of the journals. If you can't find a bike, always ask us in the library. We are there to help you. You are looking for a specific journal article. What to do now? You go to the Articles tab of the LibGuide. There you see on the left, find a specific article. Step 1, click on A to Z to see whether we have the electronic journal in our have access to it. In the green block below, you see details of an article. We are now going to look for this article. We click on A to Z, first of all. Now we type in the journal title. Remember, not the article title, the journal title. There you see it indicated in green in the green block, International Journal of Practical Theology, and I click on search. And there is the results. Click on full text access to see which are available in full text, which years. There you see, below full text access, the names of the databases where you can get this journal. First of all now, check the date indicated there for availability. You see there Academic Search Premier from 2003 and the one below of ATLA from 1997. So the year you are looking for must be included in this range. Look in the green block, we are looking for 2006. So now we click on Academic Search Premier because 2006 is included there. And this is the result list we get. A list of all the years. This page will differ for the different publishers. Look out for words like previous articles, all articles, archive, all years, previous issues. This will take you to a similar list of years where you can click on the specific issue you need. So now we click on 2006 and we see there in our green block we are looking for volume 10 number 2 and we click on 10 number 2 and we get the table of contents of volume 10 number 2. Now our title of the article is in green in the green block, Instructional Models of Christian Adult Education in a Pluralistic Society. So we scroll down and see where do we find this title, and there is it as 8. We click on PDF for the complete article, and we have it ready to use, and it's not even necessary to go to the library. There's a document on how to save a PDF document. Look at the How To tab. If we didn't find the journal article at A to Z, then the next step is to search on the catalog for the printed journal. So I click on catalog, I type in the journal title, and I click on submit, and I get the catalog record. There you can see the library's holding next to library has. We have in printed format 1993 till 2007. You received an assignment, and now you are looking for information. What do you do now? Now you go and plan your information search. Suppose your assignment is, there are many factors that influence the attitude of children towards the church. Distinguish these factors and formulate a hypothesis of how to positively influence the relationship between the church and children. What must you do now? Let's look further. You must look what is the essence of your topic. What is asked of you? You identify your keywords. You identify synonyms and alternative keywords. You link these keywords and phrases and then evaluate the results. Now we are going to look at these steps in more detail. First of all, we must identify the core idea. So the core idea here is the attitude of children towards the church. Next, you must select your keywords, which is the children and the church. And that is the terms you will use when you search for information. Now you must identify synonyms and alternative keywords. You can search with children, youth, teenagers, adolescents, and church or congregations. As you see, it is not necessarily synonyms, but it will give you similar and useful results. Now you must link these keywords and phrases with Boolean operators, and is used to combine two search terms that is different, or is used to combine synonyms or similar terms, as we have seen with the children's string, and not reduces your results. Suppose you search with church and you see Churchill is coming up in every second record you are looking for. Then you go back to your search block and you say not Churchill, or you are looking for Africa, not African American. Now you see at the bottom, that brings our string to children or youth or teenagers or adolescents, and church or congregation, not Churchill. Now we can use an asterisk to truncate our search terms. You see there the plurals. When I say church asterisk, it searches for church and churches. And for flexions, just look there for pray. When you type in pray asterisk, you find all those variations of pray. Pray, prayer, praying, praise, everything. You can also make provision for different spellings. When you search, you should do it. Look as in the American and Britain spelling. Honor with an O and an OU, counseling with one or two L's, evangelization with an S or a Z. Make provision for it because it will give you more results. You can search for a phrase between double inverted commas, and if you don't, then it only searches for the words next to each other. If you don't use it and you type in looked acts, it will find look on one place and acts in another place in the record, and it is not what you are looking for. So put it between double inverted commas and you will find just that phrase. You can also use a double inverted commas to search for the article of either a book or an article, for a journal article. There you see, and you will find it in the words in that order. So your final search string will then be child asterisk or youth or teen asterisk or adolescent asterisk and church asterisk or congregation asterisk, not Churchill, and that will give you relevant results. Then you must evaluate your results. If it's too many, you must add more keywords, or must use one of the limiters of the database, or you must search in more specific fields, not in keywords, and specific in the title or the abstracts. And if you get too few results, check with spelling. The computer can't think. It isn't like Google that say, did you mean this or that? Your spelling must be correct. Remove some of your keywords or try alternate phrases also, or other databases. Search until you find information. Use more than one search term, more than one database. Look out for help options, tips, and links to other works by the author or other authors on the subject, and always do an advanced search. It will give you the satisfaction of finding relevant results. Ek is daarom amper klaar hoor. EBSCOhost is a powerful database that will give you the satisfaction of searching for information and finding it. Ek stop hier. EBSCO is a powerful database that will give you the satisfaction of searching very specific and finding what you are looking for. How do you search? You start at the LibGuide for Theology at the Article tab. Click on EBSCOhost. Below EBSCOhost there, you can see I've also indicated the databases you need to select. You select these, and this is the databases you select for theology. Remember, the databases you select depends on the subject you are looking for information. For counseling, you also need to select Health Source, the Consumer Edition and Nursing Academic one, Psych Articles and Psych Info. For languages, you need to add MLA, International Bibliography. This is the list of the databases. Now you select your databases. You click on the block and you see it is marked. Once you've selected all of the ones you want to, you click on Continue. And this is your search screen. Now type in your search terms. Click on the drop-down menu to select the search field, title or abstract, whatever you want to select. And you limit the results by specifying the years. You see there I've typed in 2000 till 2018. Now, 1,300 records is way too many. You need to limit it in some way. The first obvious way to limit it is to add another search term. Or you can use one of the limiters provided by EBSCOhost, and there you see them all. Click on full text, and then you get only results that's available in full text. Or you can click on scholarly journals, which give you only articles from journals, and the articles before it was published was peer reviewed by subject scholars in that field, scholars in the subject field. You can also raise your lowest here. You see the bar. You can just pull the bar up till 28 or 2015 or 2010, wherever you want to put the lowest limit of your results. You can also click on academic journals, giving you only the results from academic journals. Or you can click on subject thesaurus term. Click on show more, and you get a list of the subjects assigned most frequently to your results. There you see a list of them. Then you tick all the subjects that are applicable to your research, and you click on update. Now you have only 143 results, and you can work with this, and you can use what you need there. You get the full text of the articles with HTML, PDF, or linked full text. And if it is not available, you can check on A to Z for the electronic journal, and if it's not available, on the catalog for printed availability. You can email the results to yourself. And the nice thing of EBSCO is that the links are included in your email. It will not be necessary to return to EBSCO again. Click on the image next to the article title to put it in your folder. Then the blue button will turn yellow, and you see there on the top, you will see in the folder the image show that there are articles in it. When you click on the folder, then you click get a list of everything you've selected. You select all, you click on email, and you get the email screen. Now you see there, when those two boxes are ticked, EBSCOhost is requested to send you a separate email for each of the available PDFs and HTMLs attached to that email, but that can flood your email. Tick it off. When you have only selected 3 or 4 or 5, this is a nice feature, but when you have selected more, it really can flood your email. And all the links will be in your email. Now, you see I've ticked it off. I've typed in my email address, a subject, whatever you want. You can add comments if you want to. And at the bottom, I click in the box next to remove these items from my folder. So when you return to the EBSCO screen and you want to search again, you don't include these articles again in your email. You click on continue, and there is your empty folder. And it's important when you are working in EBSCOhost not to use the browser's back arrow. You must click on back or result list, and there we are back at the search screen, and you can search again for something else and find the information you need. In your email it will look like this. Click on the blue persistent link and you get the complete EBSCOhost record. There you see on the left HTML, PDF, and there you have the complete article. If you don't have the PDF or the HTML, you see there is the guide on how to find a journal article. do you search on Google Scholar? Google Scholar is a very, very nice place to search for information, because it isn't the usual Google. It provides you scientific information, and it have very nice features. Go to the articles tab of the LibGuide, and there you see on the right hand side the blog where you can type in the words that you are looking for. Remember that you must go to Google Scholar through the LibGuide. It gives you more results in full text. If you just type in www.googlescholar, you'll get less results in full text. So I type in my search terms and I click on search. More than 2 million results. No way that you can go through all those results. So I click on the menu in the left on those bars to do an advanced search. You see the advanced search and I click on it. You see all the options that you get in a database. With all of the words is the Boolean operators and. So search for church and child. You have the option there for a phrase, also there for use one of these words. And the best feature here is that you can select search in the title of the article. And at the bottom, you can type in a date range in which the articles must be published. I click on search, and now I have only 132 results. And that's manageable. We can look through that. On the right, you can on the right side, you can see all the links to PDFs, articles with PDFs. If you find any information here not available in full text, it doesn't mean that it's not available to you. Go to the LibGuide and look at the catalog for a book if you find a reference to a book, and look at the article tab for an article, because here you find all the details, bibliographic details of the journal article, and you can then find it through A to Z. In aksie baie dankie. Ek het, is dit Linux wat jy hierop het? Verkeerde kant toe gevat. Die eerste keer kom ek toe maak toe. Snoukerkie ding hier toe.
My sê, geskies, ja.
Nee. Maar my seun werk met Linux.
Okay.
Onthou ek, maar hy sit hier aan die ander kant.
Ja, Linux en Appleton is nie ver van mekaar verby dit.
Bietjie gebaseer op mekaar.
Ja.
Ek het aan die begin, heel aan die begin